Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Rambling Through Everyday Life with Fran and Angela. My name is Fran, and I am one of the co-hosts for this podcast. I would love to read Proverbs 16:24 over you, and it says this: kind words are like honey, sweet to the soul and healthy for the body. We always pray that our words are just this, that they are kind, that they are sweet, and Lord willing, they are healthy and life-giving to your body. As always, thanks for listening, you guys. Sit back and enjoy this week's conversation. Welcome to the show, everyone. We contemplated for a half a second to sit out in the parking lot and record this on our phone because the weather is perfection.
It was so terrible a week ago.
I know, you're right. Yeah.
And this is the total opposite.
Yes.
And it is so glorious.
Yes. I'm going to look on my phone right now because I want to say out loud what the temperature is.
Well, this morning it was 42 when I left home to go to the shooting range. Mm-hmm. So this morning I had on my Ugg boots and my thermals and my leggings and my hoodie because I am like a grandma. I do not want to get cold, and I felt great. And then the sun started beaming down. I was like a turtle sitting on a log just sunning myself.
Yes.
I had my face just stuck up in the sky like a sunflower. All the vitamin D.
My phone says 62.
What does the feels like? Does it it feels warmer in the sun?
Feels like 62.
Well, there you go. You know?
But there's not much of a breeze, and so it just feels outstanding.
Thank you, Jesus, for it, because
thank you, Jesus.
We went to Lone Oaks, which is the gun range where we spend a lot of time in the spring.
Lone Oak
in Middleton, Tennessee.
Is that a town or the name of the place?
It's the name of the place, and it's actually Lone Oaks, which is ironic because lone is one, but oak is plural. So I don't know why.
Is it two words? Mm-hmm. I've always just thought it was because
Lone Oaks Farms.
There is a similar type place in near Jonesboro that's the name of a town, Lone Oak.
Oh, but it's one word.
But it's one word. And so I've always heard and thought that's the exact same thing, but it's clearly not.
Interesting. Well, and I just thought, we have Twin Oaks venue. So all the oaks, we got one, we got two, we got all the oaks. But
Lone is spelled
Lone.
Lone Oaks.
One lonely tree, but it's oaks. Lone Oaks Farms. In Middleton, Tennessee, but it's owned by University of Tennessee, and I want to take you there sometime,
I know.
Fran.
It just looks so pretty on all the pictures and stuff.
It's gorgeous, and if you're listening and just want a little adventure without going too far, they have beautiful cabins you can rent, you can fish, you can ride around and play and just do all the things in nature. But
now, where did y'all do this before? Where would we go and do all this tournament shooting stuff?
As long as it's been there a while. It's been there several years. So yeah, it's always been part of our life. But you start, if you're in the shooting sports world, and we won't talk about this long, but just quickly, trap is like the easy.
Because everyone said, no, we're not.
Everybody's like, we don't know what this is and we don't care. But trap, but it's gotten really popular. And through FCA, which is Fellowship of Christian Athletes, we have a tournament fundraiser, but also it's like travel ball. It's a new way to share the gospel through sports in the community.
Yeah,
so
I love it.
It's really fun. But trap is where they stand in one of 5 different positions and they shoot, like the machine throws the target and they hit it.
I'd be awful at that.
Well, that's level 1. Skeet is a little more advanced because you've got 2 targets simultaneously from different directions.
How do you figure that out?
Okay. Meanwhile, Angela can hit 0 ever. As much as I love this, keep in mind, last year on Mother's Day, it was my idea to go to Lone Oaks to let the boys shoot. Kaylee tried to shoot, and I think she was successful once or twice. I have 0 desire. I am wasting shells at this point because I have no desire. Yeah. But on a beautiful day, it's the equivalent of riding around a golf course through the woods, though, because it's a wooded course with some openings. But the sporting clay aspect, you have 14 stations like holes of golf where you're on a golf cart and you ride from station to station, and then the machine throws up several targets and they shoot them. And Cole is so I've got a teenage boy who is locked in and is mentioning, hey, I want to shoot for college. This could help pay for my education. Mama Bear is locked into this. And like, how do I support you in this ambition?
We love it.
We love it. So this morning he had a tournament at Lone Oaks and we had to be there to register. I think it was 8:15 or 8:30. Well, last time we got there at whatever time and we were way back in the line. So then you register, but the flight at 10 o'clock is full. So you have to kill time until 11 or 12 or whatever. I want y'all to know this will probably never happen again. But we were so motivated to get there and not let that happen to us. Not only did we drive past McDonald's and not stop and get breakfast on the way, but we were so early that when we got there, it was not even the 8 o'clock hour. It was 7:48, and the gates were still locked. You could not
Holy
even enter the
smokes.
property. And Cole and I looked at each other like,
Listen,
we are not early people.
No. Let me remind the listeners, everyone. Let me remind you that I have said out loud on this podcast, if I ask Angela or she tells me at, I don't know, 7:45, I've got to be in Savannah or Selmer
In 30 minutes.
or a totally different county in court. Like in court, not arriving into the town. And she's still at her house, like blow drying her hair.
But I will say I've never been late and made a judge mad.
Hey,
So
listen,
apparently I have wings and I get there because
you can pull it off.
those judges sure would put you in jail. They'd be like, where's your toothbrush? You're disrespecting my courtroom.
That's very impressive. I'm proud of you.
So we got there, and it did not even occur to me prior. But, Grand Junction, Tennessee, Selmer, Tennessee, there's some small communities that were devastated.
Yes.
We got there, and an EF3 tornado had gone through parts of the course and the property at Lone Oaks. And there were utility poles at the course where we were shooting twisted and mangled and snapped like twigs. And Steve runs the place, and he said, we have been running a chainsaw all week long just to get trees off. But the houses there, like trees would be flat on the ground, huge trees, and the house was perfectly fine. It's so weird how it jumps around and picks and chooses. But once again, I was just so grateful for, I mean, it's so sad the lives and the devastation, but also just so aware of God's hand on us because it really did get bad.
Yeah.
But it just to hear the birds singing and to be outdoors today is...
I know.
We're a little more
grateful
than we probably would have been before.
Oh, heck yeah. Just last week recording, we
were still traumatized, still hearing the sirens. We came through Toone. So we go through Toone, Tennessee, from Denmark, Tennessee to Toone, Toone, through Bolivar, then to Middleton. So back road America. We get into Toone and we're thinking about all this destruction we've seen. And then the sirens start going off. And it did not even enter my mind that it's noon in Toone on a Saturday. And they're just testing the sirens. But I jumped like in my seat. It was so jarring to hear those sirens again.
Have you listened to Changing Subjects? I don't know, because I think it just came out, so maybe not. I go through spurts of listening to the Big Boo cast.
I do too, yes.
I'll go and I'll listen to that's all I listen to, and then months will go by. But this recent episode that I was listening to, they were recapping this is Sophie Hudson and Melanie Schenkel.
And I'll link to this because I have had people say, how do I find the things you're talking about? Look in the show notes. I will put that in there.
And they are just so precious. I think they're just the funniest people. Well, they're recapping their Big Boo, their live event that they had in Fayetteville, Arkansas, when all of this terrible weather was taking place.
With Grace Valentine.
With our beloved Grace Valentine. And Melanie's daughter, Caroline, was also a part of the show. It was so cute to hear them talk about it.
I've not heard that episode yet.
It's so good. It's so good. And just poor Melanie had a heck of a time with her travel. It was just terrible. But anyway, I think this is part of the same episode. Heck, Angela, this could be the next one. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But she's talking about her husband, Perry, going to, I'm not going to be exactly right on this because this is not the part that stuck with me. Let's say that he was going to Argentina and he was going on a bow hunt and had to take his bow and check it.
Was this for turkeys? Because Carl has a Mexico bow hunt
Don't know.
and a middle Central America
I don't know.
bow hunt on the horizon.
But that's where he is. And she said he was so proud of how he packed everything so well in the backpack, but he also had to have a checked bag because he's got to check his bow. And all of a sudden I was just thinking, man, that's Carl Snyder. We need to somehow hook those two up and let them go on some big, wild, massive hunt in the middle of who knows where.
Remember when Carl went on that moose hunt and Canada confiscated his weapon?
Yes.
And he got there and had nothing to hunt with and had to borrow. That was supposed to be a bow hunt, and he wound up killing the moose or whatever it was with the gun because they quote unquote lost his bow and then conveniently found his bow when he came back through.
Do you ever just listen to people's lives and you're like, I have literally nothing?
Well, let me tell you this. This may be too gross, but I'm going to say it anyway. This morning, as we're getting ready to leave my house to
you run over? You run over something?
I didn't run over anything, but I had Cole's girlfriend, and Cole's best friend rode with me there. And I looked at Oakland, precious sweet Oakland, his girlfriend, and I said, watch where you're stepping. We got ducks, and the ducks
that gives me chills.
Come into the garage because we were in the garage and they were looking for food. Well, they were leaving lots of souvenirs splattered on the ground. And I just thought, I said, watch where you're stepping because you got ducks, you got chickens, they're all up and at them this morning. And I just thought, is this my life?
Yes,
I grew up in the city and I'm just like, watch out for chicken poop. I mean, it's just not even.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me until it does. And then I'm just why do I have 9,000 animals?
You get so used to it. And again, I'll just say it. This is not normal. It's not normal. But anyway.
Quickly, I want to tell everybody, thank you for your thoughts and prayers for baby Brownie. Brownie looks so much better.
Y'all, we didn't even tell you the half of it.
No, and Brownie is still a little bit dazed and confused. But dang alive, if I did not leave my house an hour ago and that other pair of swans were not trying their best to get to him through his little pen and torture him. So we have a planned other location where we can, this is my plan. Our friend down the road has a pond. We can put baby Brownie there, assuming he continues his healthy recovery. And then the 7 eggs on the nest hopefully will hatch a wife for Brownie because he deserves to couple up and be happy and have his own little adventure somewhere else with his own family.
Yes.
So that's his future. We have a future plan.
Brownie currently, well, I don't know about like right now currently, but in the last several days, Carl would send Angela and I a video, and Brownie looked like he had been to the bar.
Wobbly and drunk.
Yes. And it's just so sad because y'all have heard me say, I am so mad at his parents and just so mad. And I'm really struggling to be even halfway attached to these eggs that she's sitting on. Because
Does love your neighbor extend to swans?
Yes.
Do we have to love them?
No.
Can we load them? They don't have a soul.
Them.
I know.
Anyway, yay for baby Brownie. I mean, he's a tough little cookie.
And we still don't know, did he fly into a tree? Did he get hit by a car? Does he have a disease? Like, we don't know.
I think because of the weather and the fact that lady was like, hey, I think your swan is up here at the post office. I think he's just something happened to him. He's disoriented. He got hurt somehow, and he's just struggling. Yeah. I don't think he's sick with an illness. I think he's just literally rattled.
He's rattled, but he's bouncing back. the bouncing back baby Brownie. Okay, so I have been lectured and ridiculed by my husband, who has told me that I need to go have eyeball surgery because he's so mad that I will not wear my readers. I do not always have my modern monocle. And he is like, do you understand that you're like blind texting is basically the equivalent of drunk texting? You are sending things to people accidentally. You are misspelling words. Like, I've
Listen,
gone off the rails.
Accidentally is one thing. That's terrifying.
Yes.
But I saw a funny meme yesterday, where it's saying, I'm basically at the age where if this is what I text you and then it shows the sentence, it's like, just forget it. You've got it. You're smart. You can figure it out. I'm not fixing it. Well, that's kind of where I am. And I know that there are certain times in people that I can do that. And then there's other times that you're like, oh, crud.
We've learned how to interpret those things from our middle-aged friends.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Although,
I could figure it out.
Again, God love Oakland, Cole's sweet little girlfriend, and we're not going to go into all the details, but I accidentally texted Oakland a text that was intended for someone my age, and we were discussing... Thank God we weren't talking about menopause or hormones or any worse than it was. But it was, about our body image and weight and this and that. And I got the kindest, sweetest response back. And I looked at it and I was like, this doesn't sound like something my friend would say back. And I looked at it again with my glasses and realized I had texted Cole's girlfriend on a Monday morning with absolutely no context. Can you imagine getting a text from your boyfriend's mother about her woes and her weight loss journey?
And she's how old?
She's 16.
She's a babe.
And I love her. But
she's a baby.
We just decided we're going to be best friends. And, she's just going to roll with whatever. She gives me so much grace. But anyway.
Well, you forget, like, 16 like
versus 48 49 in 2 weeks.
There's a whole lot of space in between those two numbers, and it's just scary.
So I'm very aware that I need to be I told Carl my promise to him is that if I have my phone in my hand, I will have my glasses on my face.
Every single student on this campus that has ever seen my phone text completely is awful to me. They say all the things to make fun
because of the big letters,
of the size of the font, and I'm like, shut up, leave me alone. This is going to be you one day, and you're going to feel awful for the way that you've treated me.
Well, I also want you to know this morning, so we left so early.
Also, let me pause and say this: you got to be careful because with text that big, if somebody's behind you, not that I'm texting anything, but I might be saying whatever, but somebody could be standing behind you and reading it. Okay, carry on.
The flip side of that, hopefully my teenagers are behaving, but the flip side of that is they could be completely inappropriate and I can't see it. And if I have my glasses on my face, they know I'm spying on them, but I can't be a spy anymore.
Listen, it also tickles me when like you're sitting somewhere and the person next to you, like they're texting or whatever, and they lower that light all the way down.
Or turn their phone slightly, and I want to yell across the I can't see it anyway.
I know, it doesn't matter. I don't care.
Well, this morning I got ready to have my quick little quiet time and get a little bit of a workout in before all the activity of the day, and it was 5:30, 5:45. It was very early for a Saturday, but I sat there a good 2 minutes in confusion, not sure why I still couldn't see well with my glasses on. I had my sunglasses on, not my readers. And I thought, what do I do?
That reminds me. Oh my gosh, Angela. So today I had gone to Lowe's. And I was frustrated about something that is not even worth getting into. But I'm in my car trying to solve this problem. My sunglasses are on my head, but I've put my readers on because I'm looking up some stupid piece of furniture, patio outdoor furniture online. Okay. Well, I figure all that out and I start to back up and I'm like, oh my God, why can I not see? Why is everything so
bright?
Why is everything so blurry? Because I've got my readers on. And I started, like, I had 30 seconds. Well, that's probably too long, but like 10 seconds of panic. Like, oh my gosh, I'm losing my vision. I cannot see. I can't see. And then I was like, Fran, you're an idiot. Take the readers off and put your sunglasses back on.
Y'all pray for our children. I told Kaylee about a week ago, I said, I had this cute little lady in my office and I just thought, is this Kaylee's future? Like the way her daughter was having to tend to her.
Oh, I know.
But I don't remember if I told y'all this, but I had a 95-year-old come in. Have I told you about her?
I don't know.
She showed me a video on her phone so that I could see evidence of how she can sit flat down on the ground and hop right up like she's 30. And she said, honey, you got to keep up your exercise.
That's Susie Oliver.
So,
that's what Susie will say.
It's true. It's true. Okay, I set these. Well, first of all,
are our kids going to go, now, Mom, now, Mom, you know that you can't do that, Mom.
Well, Kaylee and I decided that I've always been so bossy and hard to deal with if I'm not in charge that she's just going to let me always be in charge.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Well, because it's, like, I'm like, what are they saying now about me?
Oh, my goodness. Can you imagine?
30 more years.
We've already told off plenty in the first 5 minutes anyway. Skittles, have you tried the Skittles powder packs in your water yet?
Mm-mm.
They're amazing. They're sugar-free and they will help you
Where
hydrate.
do you get that from?
Kroger.
Oh.
Kroger, Dollar
that
General
sounds
Store.
Kinda,
It's probably full of chemicals, but they're so good.
There's no sugar, but by golly, everything else will kill you.
Jr. Yep.
Make America healthy again with your Skittles powder.
I don't see any red dye in the pink Skittles, but yeah, they're really good. And the liquid IV, those are my new. I'm trying to put anything in my water to make me care to drink it lately. The goal is to drink water, not to get rid of the chemicals.
For real. I don't know if it was Melanie and Sophie on the Big Boo Cast when somebody, I don't know where this came from, but I just thought it was so funny. And aren't you glad that we're not a podcast where we're talking about the tariff situation?
Oh, no, we are not going there. We're not talking about a tariff.
I just thought, I'm just going to go ahead and confess right now, people. I'm just going to go ahead and confess. I should know what all of this stuff is.
You know what, Fran? We don't need to know what it is because we need those people to feel secure in their identity and important. And we're going to help them along by being deliberately out of that so they can have that territory.
I do not need to get in the middle of it.
We'll take the ridiculous and some spiritual and anything in between, but not tariffs.
Not that. And I just thought, man, I'm so glad that that's not my world. Now, I will make this, I don't know if this is a political statement. Sure, because she's a political person. Caroline Levitt.
Yes, I love her.
I love her.
Mm-hmm. She's impressive.
Oh, she's so impressive. She's so young. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, girl, you get up there and you own that room and you own what you know. And you get up there and you speak with the confidence and the knowledge and you put all those people in their place when they need to be put in their place. And she's a baby.
She's classy in how she scolds them.
Yes.
I love it.
She's a baby. She's still in her 20s, I think.
It's very Julia Sugarbaker for those of us who remember designing women.
I really like her.
The next generation. Julia Sugarbaker's grandchild.
So I'm going to let her talk about those tariffs, but I thought, whoa, God, I'm so glad that is not. I'm just glad that the Lord gifted me in the way that he did. Still trying to discover some of that. But
can we talk about one of the gifts that he has bestowed upon you today? And all week.
I don't know.
Really great hair. Y'all, we're going to take a photo.
Shout out to my hair wizard, Tammy Guyman.
Mm-hmm. Today's photo will have me in black, including, I took off my hoodie because I was hot and threw on my zip up. And y'all, I got here, I was like, Fran, what is all over me? Who cares?
Nobody cares.
You're not going to notice me because Fran's hair is so good. I mean, you've always got good hair.
Well, I've had the same.
We're doing something a little different.
I've had the same hairstyle. But the other day when I was in there, Jensen, I work with Jensen and Jensen Vincent.
Best name ever.
We very rare overlap by appointments because I go much more frequently than she does because she was trying to show me her gray hair and I was like, girl, I do not see it, but okay. So we happen to overlap. And so she sits there and we're like when I've got color on and I'm sitting there for 50 minutes, I have to sit there with my color on. Tammy's doing Jensen's hair. So she's got the foil. She's doing all the things. So we're just sitting there chit-chatting. Then when I go wash my hair and I come back to the seat, well, I'll be dang, Jensen whips out her Pinterest board of hairstyles that she wants. And I said, I love that one. I really want to think about that one right there, Tammy. And she goes, we can do that. And really, essentially, all we've done, for those of you all that can work with me here on the words that I'm using to describe. My bangs, I've always parted my hair on the left side and the bangs kind of just swoop across. Swoop across. But now I've got a middle part and all the bangs are going straight down and they're kind of, I don't know, they're kind of cut.
They're kind of wispy.
And then I have had layers, but it's because my hair's always been straight, like just with a straightener. But so she just curled it, and we're going to grow out this for those, what do they call that? That feather?
Oh, curtain bangs.
Curtain bangs. So it feels like a lot, but it's not really. It's more of just the bang situation that's going on.
I feel like the photos should just be you and your hair
heavens
this week.
No. Heavens
I don't
no.
even think I need to be in it.
But I just feel like I'm just constantly like wanting to, brush the bangs out of the way.
You phantom, like feel them, but they're not there.
But anyway, hey, here's to
great hair.
Spring season.
I know.
New hair, who dis?
Well, and I'm thinking like I have a graduation to go to in 2 weeks. Easter is next Sunday. I'm starting to think about like, what are we wearing?
I have no idea.
Susie said so. Where art thou?
Well, here's also a funny thing. Angela, I need to briefly fill you in on the fact that I have bought more things online late at night in the last week.
Uh-oh.
And one of those things is a dress that I thought, well, this will be great for Easter. I have no idea anything about this. I don't have it yet. Hadn't arrived. Probably is coming from.
I need a video. I need a haul.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Oh, well, go ahead.
Yeah. So I was kind of in the back of my mind hoping that could work for Easter. I also bought a Sam's membership online.
Okay.
Why do I need a Sam's membership? Because
you have a new house?
Well, Angela, I don't need a Sam's membership.
Well,
that is not necessary, but I bought that thing online.
I need you to put me back on spending probation, and I'm about to convince you it's a good idea.
Okay.
So.
Okay. I also bought 2 tops from the TikTok shop.
Oh, did that turn out well?
I hadn't received them yet. I'm telling you, within about 3 days, I was purchasing things left and right.
I get a little compulsive.
I'm pretty sure I also bought a piece of furniture. Now that I'm saying this, I bought something.
There's no telling.
I bought a chair.
Okay.
For our bedroom. Like just
any of these things?
No.
We need a haul. When they show up, we need a haul video.
Okay. I will show you all and then I'll let you know. No, this was not good. How do I send this chair back?
Thumbs up or thumbs down? Well, I see people in the UPS store all the time with weird large objects returning them. Yeah. So. But I cannot send you a haul video from my latest purchase that made me understand I need to quit.
Okay, tell us.
I realized when I got a confirmation email that I had ordered a really cute pair of pants from Ann Taylor Loft. They were on sale and really great reviews. So I thought, well, I need them in this color and also this other color. But y'all, I ordered them apparently in petite. I've never been a petite anything a day in my life. So when I get a confirmation that says they've already been shipped and it's my size in a petite, I thought,
no way.
That clearly
put your glasses on.
Seeing, thinking, or engaged in the shopping process.
No, I know.
If I am now ordering more than one pair of pants in petite, anything.
Okay, are you going to be able to return them?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Just don't let me ride around with them for 2 months and then give them to Goodwill.
I know. No, we ain't doing that.
Anyway.
I know. It's just funny that there was so much in about 3 days that I was
That's not like you at all.
No. But there are certain things that I need.
How is the house? What do we need to know about your new house and getting settled in?
Here's what I did order from Amazon. You know that Amazon is a great place to order those very fancy looking decorative books.
No, I didn't know. What? Tell us. What?
So I spent $60 on fake books.
Okay.
But you need these books. Like it might say the history of art, but it is literally, you couldn't open up a page or turn a page for nothing because it's all fake. But they're beautiful. So they're for your coffee table. And my sister-in-law told me about it. She was like, well, you can go to Home Goods and look for that kind of stuff, or Amazon has great decorative books. So
can we put a link to that?
So I did that and I was like, dang, I just spent $60 on fake books that you can't even open.
But it's your forever home and it deserves to be beautiful. You waited for this.
I'm in the process of like decorative stuff as well as the chair. And here's the other thing. If anybody has tips on And let me pause and say that this house is a completely different decor scene than the other 75 Pemberton Cove where we used to live. I will say that address because I don't live there anymore. But as I was saying it, I was like, oh, shoot. Okay, well.
I've exposed myself. No, I haven't.
Anyway.
Don't harass the new people.
Anyway, so it's like starting over. It's just like we're starting over. And so everything just feels, oh, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Dining room table.
Did you find one?
No, I have. I just moved one. I moved the one we had.
Okay.
I just was afraid it was going to be too much in that space. No, it's fine. It's great. But it's like, how are people decorating dining room? What do you do with the dining room table now? Because in my old house, it had a whole centerpiece thing, but that look does not work here.
I have a vase with flowers, a vase, and a little, well, I mean, don't listen to me. I'm not a decorator. Next. Who can tell us? Not me.
But
I'm not answering that question.
Pinterest is so overwhelming in those moments because you're like, oh,
okay, so we're going to ask,
how do you
decorate?
Yeah. And
Okay.
I really just want somebody to kind of come in my house and go, I'll go buy those things for you. But I also don't want to be charged $1,400 for you to go buy 4 things.
Maybe the Easter Bunny will do it. He'll be showing up Saturday night.
Anyway, okay.
Are you doing Easter baskets for anybody?
I don't know because I've got to ask Clay. I don't know if Clay can come home for Easter weekend. And so I'm such a procrastinator. So the answer is currently right now, I don't know what I'm doing, but I will do something.
Yeah.
Yes, because I always do get them a bag of junk. It may not be a basket.
If there are no Starburst jelly beans in my house, there will be a revolt.
So it'll be something. Okay,
wait.
and Angela, this releases on Monday and Holy Week begins.
Yes, and the Easter week services have been released.
I know, I saw those.
Oh my gosh, it's so great.
I love it.
It's an interfaith series of services at noon on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I did see Dr. Dub is speaking on Tuesday.
I saw that too. How do I find that?
I've got that.
Listen, I just searched. Why would I search RIFA? Y'all don't know.
Regional Interfaith.
I know, but I'm like, why did I search that?
I'm texting it to you because, well, no, I'm not. I thought I took a screenshot of it. Y'all weird.
Anyway.
And here I am without my glasses on my face. What did I just promise I would always do?
I hope that you live in an area where you have Holy Week services and maybe you're able to go to 1 or 2. On Good Friday, I'm going to Jonesboro to see my parents that day. So I won't be able to go to our Good Friday service at church. And it's one of my favorite services, but... Anyway,
it really is sweet.
Maybe I can go to one of the others.
Well, speaking of Good Friday, I wanted to share something that I saw earlier that I just, growing up Catholic, we always were taught to pause whatever you were doing. And from the hours that, that we recognized Jesus as being on the cross, we always had just a quiet time of prayer and devotion and, of course, now that I'm building all this up, like, how do I find something I've saved? Somebody teach me how to use Instagram. Saved. It's under saved. Things are under a place called saved. Okay. All right. If we had an edit button, this is how we're going to know our podcast is never edited. Okay. So I saw earlier.
I'm sorry. Could somebody tell me how to send a text? Because I don't know.
Alt-delete on the last 2 minutes of my rambling. Okay. This says, did you know NASA confirmed something mind-boggling about the day Jesus died? And I love it when science backs up our faith, and it shouldn't be a shock to us. But it says many scholars pinpoint the date of Jesus' death to April 3rd, 33 AD. And according to NASA, a lunar eclipse took place on April 3rd, 33 AD, and the length of the eclipse was 2 hours and 50 minutes, which for context, from noon until 3 in the afternoon, darkness came all over the land, according to Matthew 27:45. So it's just so beautiful to see anything in science that also intersects with scripture. Anyway, I love that. I love that. And then I also saw, you probably saw this too, Jenny Allen shared how Gen Z is leading the rise in church attendance. Love that. We love this generation so much. And I can't remember Gen Z, the ages.
Well, those are the college students right now. And then after, like, if you're in middle school right now, maybe early high school, we'd have to look.
What's
but that's alpha.
ABCD?
That's alpha.
What comes after
they're
Z?
called Gen Alpha.
But UK, the study was done in UK, and church attendance there has risen by 50% over the last 6 years. And the most dramatic growth increase is in young adults with Gen Z. And I just love that. They're the ones looking for real connection, and they're finding it in Jesus, and they're bringing the light to their friends. And it's just so beautiful. So
I want to tell you really quick about this book that I've been given that I'm about to devour. Like, I started it and I was like, ooh, I got to put this down. This is not an everyday read for everybody by any means, but it is called Lead Like Jesus, Lessons from the Greatest Leadership Role Model of All Time. Well,
who wrote it?
Ken Blanchard, Phil Hodges, Phyllis Hendry. We had a parent who also happens to be involved with an organization called Lead Like Jesus. And he came and visited with us at work this week because one of the pillars within our office is leadership development. Y'all know that is no secret how passionate I am about developing good leaders within systems and organizations, student leaders, because that's the world that I live in, college students. But he came and was talking to us about this program, this ministry, this offering that they have, all different types of things that will help students become better leaders and help us develop them better. So he gave us this book, and it's called Lead Like Jesus. This is just one of many things that we talked about. And I just want to read something over us really quick, if that would be okay. And this is truly out of the introduction. Listen, you know a book's going to be good when the introduction's good. Because the older I get, I love me a good introduction. I'm like, oh, yes, this is phenomenal.
Well, and oftentimes that's how we decide, like, am I really going to read this book?
Yeah.
So if the intro's good,
right.
Yeah, we're in.
Right. All right. The world is in desperate need of a different leadership role model. Written a decade ago, the original Lead Like Jesus book begins with this statement, which we still believe is true today. Our experiences and learnings in the last 10 years have continued to remind us that, and this is what I have underlined, the most important thing in leadership is the leader. The most important part of the leader is his or her heart. And the most important connection to a leader's heart is God. We believe that real change starts from our heart. Like, we can manufacture things all day long, and it happens. Like, the whole world is creating structures and systems and processes that, you've got to execute. And they're not necessarily all bad. But as Christians who want to develop Christian leaders in the regards to college students here at Union, then we are after their heart. Now, we also know not everybody's heart is pure and perfect, but we can't be afraid to get in there and dig and look and talk about the condition of that heart, because we all got work to do on our heart. But if we want to be the leaders that we are, and I believe, and they say this in this book too, that everybody's a leader because everybody's influencing somebody's thoughts, somebody's behavior, somebody's pattern. We're all doing that. But we need to be people that are about transforming our own heart and not being afraid of that, and recognizing the sin that's there, recognizing the idolatry that's there, recognizing the ignorance, the pride, the fear. Like, we cannot be afraid to look at that and then act on what it is that the Lord is wanting to teach us and refine us. And so right off the bat, I was like, oh man, this is so good. They say you cannot lead like Jesus without Jesus. And so anyway, as a result of the conversation that we had the other day and then reading the first part of this, it really does take me back to the things that we have said over and over and over again, but I personally have probably not done. I'm doing it, but not in the level, the way, the depth that I want to. And that is just examining my heart and sitting in that for a while. Something that I had a conversation with a student this week, and we all know this, and it's so good. It's out of 1 Corinthians 13, and we were just talking about how, like, we just want to be authentic and true and real with our faith, with our words, with our lives. All of it, we want to be those people. And I said to this group of people, I said, I'm just so afraid of being found to be a hypocrite, that she says this over here, but then we see consistent remnants of this here. And like, I know I'm not perfect and I know that I'm going to sin, but I just hope there's enough consistency and overflow of a heart that loves and knows the Lord, and that just spills out. And so in this conversation with a particular student, she referenced this verse. And I'm just going to read it out loud and just let this settle on us for a second. We know this verse, y'all. 1 Corinthians 13 says, beginning in verse 1, if I speak in the tongues of men or of angels, but do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. I don't want to walk around and be that. I mean, you and I can joke about it, and we have. But, like, really at the heart and the heart of who we are as people, this podcast, anything we do as far as a ministry, like, God, let it be said that we love others well, that is what is coming out of our heart, that's who Jesus is, God the Father. He is love. That is who he is. It cannot be changed. And so to be made in his image, we've just thought a lot about I've thought a lot about what is the real condition of my heart, what needs to be addressed, what needs to be pulled out, what needs to be examined so that I can lead like Jesus. Because I sure as heck don't have it all figured out. Nobody does. And to just develop these students to have a true heart and a love for the Lord, in addition to the discipline that they're practicing here on, the degree that they're getting.
That is so good. And I think Holy Week, too, just has us in that posture of, we're just more mindful than we might be otherwise.
Right.
Because we've talked for 10 years about what's the condition of my heart, who's helping me grow, how am I getting there? How is my time with the Lord? How's my confession time? It's so powerful, to speak things out loud for accountability, to someone we trust. And I also, when you said that about God being love, when we just remind ourselves, God is perfect love. I've said a million times, if I could just not talk to people, I might not sin. Right.
Dang people. My gosh.
See how quick I am to shift the responsibility to people and not me? Joking, sarcasm font. But if I can just remind myself with all the people I encounter, but, in my own home, like, God is love. He is perfect love. He fills every need that I have. Release expectation. So many times I get in a twist over some unmet expectation or need that was never fair to put on a person in the first place. And that just, when you said that, I thought about that. I thought, if I can just remind myself, God is love. He loves me perfectly. I have all that I lack in him. Then I can love people the way that Jesus loves me.
Right.
And remember that he loves them. The people that I struggle with, like, he loves them so much. Who am I to treat them any differently?
The rest of this, or verses starting in verse 4, where the familiar verses, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy. Remember when somebody told us all once upon a time, like, put your name in there? Fran is patient, Fran is kind, Fran does not envy, Fran does not boast, Fran is not proud. Like, we have to get back to a place of better love, of good, pure, godly love. And I think I can say, oh, yeah, I am loving people well. And in reality, I'm probably more like a hypocrite.
Some people are easy to love.
Yeah.
And those are the people my mind wants to drift to when I think of that. But it goes back to John 15 and abiding. If I'm abiding, if I'm connected, if I'm in that place of abundance and my spiritual life is strong, it's so much easier. But when I start to drift, and if I'm not actively connected, I will drift. We all will.
And we know when it's happening because internally we're just feeling the frustration. We're feeling everything but love. And we're not extending grace and we're not extending mercy. And God is so good to us as He extends that over us over and over and over and over all day long, every day. And yet we being all lovely and Christian-y and precious, are not extending that to other people. It's just, let this be a week where we
we're mindful of it.
Just consider, remember, we're the ones that put Jesus on the cross. Our sin put Him there.
Can I read my tattoo?
Yes.
My fake tattoo that's already coming off. I just put it on not too long ago. Dwell differently. I've mentioned it before in sweet little Oakland that I mentioned, Cole's girlfriend. We gave ourselves temporary tattoos together. I got my monthly pack for April. And it's so sweet because this is easy to do with your children, with teenagers. It's so cute. It's a cute little lock screen. The first letter of each verse is on the tattoo just to help you learn it. But it says this, it's 1 John 3:16. This is how we know what love is. Jesus Christ laid down His life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for our brothers and sisters. So
Amen.
Jesus loved us. We can extend that love to other people. We know it in our brains.
Needs to get down into our heart.
Let's actually do it this week.
Lead like Jesus. Live like Jesus.
So good.
All right. Y'all are amazing. I hope that you have a wonderful Holy Week, and may the Lord be so sweet to you as you remember Him and who He is to you and your relationship with Him.
Yes. And can I add, I hate to take away from the spiritual and go this way for a minute, but also like the next few weeks, y'all are really going to love. We've got some really good guests that we are so excited to talk to. So
get ready.
We're ending this season stronger than probably any other.
It's guest season is what it is.
It's guest season. It's coming.
It's fun. Okay. Y'all have a wonderful day and week. We'll see you next time. Y'all have a great day. Bye. Okay, are you following us on Instagram? Have you joined our Facebook page, sought out our Facebook page? And occasionally, just occasionally, we post on TikTok. Just search Rambling Through Everyday Life. All right, you guys, we'll see you next time. Happy Holy Week. We love you.